Hello, everybody. Steve here. We're just gonna jump right into it. I'm not really much for intros and hellos and highs and all that stuff, and I got something cool I want to do. After this stream today, I'm gonna pack up what comics we decide here and now to take to the booth, so we have a glass case in the booth. And it's time for me to rotate the comics that are in there. It holds about 5 or 6 comics. And so I got a box here. I don't know if it'll be this box we pull some stuff out of. But just know that I'm in a rural area. There's definitely quite a few comic book collectors. I sell a ton of comic books out of the booth. So I don't know. I want to put something in there that I think that will draw the eye, that could stop them in the tracks. So I want like a showstopper book, but then I want some like smaller books that will sell a little bit easier. You know what I mean? So while we're doing that, because I'm ADD, we are also going to be playing Raid Shadow Legends because it is a fragment week. And the new guy is apparently pretty good. So I just kind of run this in the background. So what we're running here, and I might talk about this later. This is not a Raid Shadow Legends. I am not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, and all that stuff. But I'm running a Theodore, which I know is like the coolest dude in the world. He allows me to like solo dungeons. We're doing almost solo. He needed a little help with this one, but we're doing stage 23, Ice Golem's Peak, with just leveling up some folks, getting some tournament points. So we're just gonna pull that up periodically and make sure that's going. Like I said, we have the comic books here, but also we are going to do a composite with this, because not only am I like the book guy, but I'm also in another life the photographer guy, and I still am that guy, even though I try to focus more on the art side of it and less on commission work, even though I still do take commissions here and there, especially for gigs that are exciting and fun. So what we're going to do with this young lady, and this is an old Kodachrome. It's a found Kodachrome. I have no idea who this young lady is. This would have been photographed in 1945-ish, 42, 45, like World War II times. So I buy huge collections of slides, and I go through them just like anything else. And with my background, I pick out what I think are the cool ones, and then I make stuff out of them, or I restore them if they're cool in of itself. So as I was going through these particular slides, just her vibe, just kind of her smile looked really genuine, and just a little twinkle in her eye. I thought it was a really good portrait of a young lady. I dig the haircut. I just dig everything about it. I dig I think that's gingham is what they call that, gingham dress. I could be wrong. My wife would know. She knows such things. And it could be a boat. That looks like she's on a boat in a marina now that I'm looking kind of in this area here. Didn't that kind of look like it could be a steering wheel to a boat, or what would you call that? Is there a term for that? I don't know. But regardless, she looks like she might be on vacation. So what we're going to do is we're going to composite out the windows, and we're going to put something different in the background, and we're going to blur it out. And I've got a couple of photos, and we're going to go over that as I pull out comic books. So, so where to start? Where should we start? More inspiration for this photo. There's an author by the name of Ray Bradbury. Fantastic author, writes science fiction stuff. Not all of his stories work out so well for humanity. And I just thought, because of the environment and the culture that we're in right now, it's kind of like, it's kind of apocalyptic-y. I'll just say it. Just seems like there's everything going bad everywhere. COVID's still running amok. Everything's just, politics is a joke. Just, where do you go? So I read books to escape. So we in our now times are having hardcore Ray Bradbury vibes. So that's the inspiration for these photos. So let me pull up what we're actually going to do. We're going to put this guy in one window. And this website is Pexels. Hopefully you guys can see that. It is a free site. These are royalty-free photos. Let me give a shout out to who took this, if it even says. Ooh, we might do that one too. I didn't see that one. I like that a lot for this vibe. So my idea was to put this one in this window, just kind of a straight up and down, kind of indicative of like escape, right? And I'm going to retone the image. I'm going to give it different. I'm going to, color mix it to where there's red and yellow and kind of match. So I'm going to kind of turn her, that meme, I should have looked it up and had it ready to go, but there's a meme where the little girl, the house is on fire and the little girl turns around. That's kind of, what's up, Ghost Reg? Finally, photography. I know there's not a lot of us on Twitch. I used to do it a long time ago, and then I stopped, and now I'm back. So here we are. We're going to do a composite today of this young lady. So in the right hand window, we're gonna do the spaceship and the rocket, and in this, I want to put like some fire and just. We're gonna do this photo here. In this other window. In this window here. So first, let's download these things. Dun, dun. And hopefully the audio and everything is balanced correctly. Feel free to let me know if one thing needs to go up or down. We should be hearing in the background of some like Fallout type music for those that game Fallout Tactics. I've been playing Fallout since it was 8-bit, so I don't know if you can see the gray on the sides. Okay, so what am I doing? I am downloading photos. That's what I'm doing. So again, this is Pexels and Pixabay and all that. I use them quite a bit when I'm just kind of messing around doing fun stuff. Not for like client work, obviously. Well, I mean, unless it's, if I'm using like a part of a photo, and as long as it's paid for and the artists are respected. Fire Apocalypse. We'll call this left window. All right. And then we'll do the rocket ship. Ooh, a Web3p file. What is that about? Free to use. Free download. Do I click that? Say thanks. Show some love. No? What are we doing? Oh, let's check our raid. We're also going to do raid. Like I said, there's a tournament going on. So we're just going to let that run. All right, there's that photo. I want this photo. How do I get this photo? Save image as. JPEG, there we go. All right. I must have just clicked on the wrong thing. So Ghost Drag, so do you shoot? Hobbyists, pro, all are welcome. I'm not one of those gatekeeper photographer guys. We had other options for this too, and we might go through more of these if the other two photos don't end up working. That's kind of how sometimes these things go. Oh, that would be cool to put outside the window, like real close, like they were trying to get in the window. We might come back to that one. And if I don't use this for this project, I'm certainly gonna mostly black and white, like architecture, portraits, or just kind of whatever looks cool. And again, either way, I like to shoot. I'm a little ADD. I like to shoot a little bit of everything. Oh, anyway. All right. So let's pull these images in. Desktop. There's the rocket ship. Let's put that just right in there. Get out of here. Hobbyist, but used to be a wedding. Yeah, I get it. I did it too. I've shot a lot of weddings. That was, God, I shot weddings for 8 years. Long time. Long time. Did it like as my job for a while. I used to joke the only people that are going to be left at the end of the apocalypse are chefs and wedding photographers. That's it. Everyone's out. No one else can hang. Squiddy, yeah, he commiserates. I get it. What's up, Squiddy? All right. Now, it has been a while. I might be a little bit rusty, so you guys will have to bear with me if I have to Control Z a lot. But that's all right. We'll get there. All right, so let's deal with this one first. All right, let's. I'm gonna try to cheese it. I'm gonna try not to have to do a bunch of selections, and just kind of raw dog it. Because I don't need it to, I don't need it to be perfect. This is just for fun. Now, if it was like a client project, we'd be in there doing selections and, making it perfect. So we're just trying to get a placement kind of where we want it. 8 is long. Only did it for 2 and I got out. Yeah, it's rough. It was rough. The last straw for me was, this is before the pandemic. My wife is disabled, so the pandemic would have shut me down regardless. And I get this channel's not about that, but the risk factor is a little different. But I did quit prior to that, and what happened was I shot a wedding of a good friend for free. And bear in mind, I wasn't like I had been doing it for a long time. I wasn't like new. And the sister of the bride was a wedding photographer, and it was just imagine like 2 chefs in a kitchen. And I just told them, I was like, look, I can just leave. Like, there's no contract. And you guys are my friends, but like I'm here for free, guys. And it was just after that, the spirit of it, like the purity of it, because I do like watching people get married. I've been married for 20 years, and it's nice to kind of watch the nuptials, right? They're all in love. It's the beginning part of the relationship. It kind of reinvigorates you. And I'm a sappy romantic guy, right? I would text my wife and be like, oh, I'm so honey, I love you. We should redo our vow. I'm that guy. Like, totally. I'm still that guy. But it just, I don't know. After seeing and not all weddings are like that if you've shot a bunch of them. And you get really sad when you see them like get divorced after. Anyway. What do we got? Hoping to do second shooter. Yeah, second shooting is fun because there's no pressure and you don't have to like it's not on you to solve like all the problems. I loved second shooting. I think when the world calms down a little bit, it would be something I would want to do because I also sell a lot of stock photography, and you get there's a lot of opportunities to create stock on the fly at a wedding. Even without people in it, you don't even need to get model releases. So I'm always looking to like self-sustain. The third is just a random. Yeah, on the larger weddings, like for 3, somebody to do, or even someone to go like cover the details, like that would be a good deal. Like I know I live in the St. Louis area, and some of the nicer places, I'm the cheapest thing in the room, right? And so sometimes with sometimes how packed the logistics can be, I would hire a third to go in and shoot the details of the reception, and then just jet. Just wait till I got there, hand me the card, and then take off. Easiest gig ever, dude. I would love to do that. There's just, obviously it's, you got to have the right wedding and the right circumstances. Having relationships with photographers is just be the helpful guy, you know what I mean? How do we want to do this? I think we are going to have to at least mask it, of course. Stock photos is the way it is. My issue's got to be consistent. Like that's kind of where I'm at now. I need to start doing that because it is. It can really be self-sustaining. There's nothing like going to bed and then waking up, having sold a ton of stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of like raw mask this just to kind of get it in there. I do not have my Wacom tablet. I have recently found myself with different employments, so they took some of my toys. Not took, it was their toys, to be fair. And I do try to be fair. So again, we probably will have to come in here with, clean this mask up, but as you can see, even right here, maybe I could just kind of deal with that a little bit now. And hair is always a pain in the tail. Or maybe I just try to make it as cool as I can, and then if I end up liking it, or if it's going somewhere, right? Like, because not all these things work out, right? Because I didn't have a plan. I kind of sat down right 2 seconds before they said, "Oh, this might be cool." I have a big stack of Kodachrome that I got at an estate sale, and this is one of the images in there. What do we got here? Third, concert photography is super cool. Yeah, it's samey, but I mean, once there's a formula to it, they're all kind of this. They kind of all the same. It's just the same puzzle pieces are arranged in different ways. Like, and if like once if you shoot cheap weddings, like people get really controlly. But like when you start shooting the higher end weddings, they just kind of trust you to run the deal, which is like both, you know, which is why you're getting paid more. But it's stressful. It can be because like. You're managing people that you've just met for the first time on one of the most stressful and most important days of their life. Not your life, because this is like the 52nd you've done this year. You know, not that each one of them aren't important and aren't worthy of respect, because they are, because these are people's, you know, important parts. But yeah, you can get it down to a formula, but it gets samey. It does get samey because it's even though the people and the stories and everything are different, and that helps, but it's like the same gig, same problems, same solutions. You know what I should have done? I should have done this as a clipping mask. Can I still do that? I wonder. But concert photography would be super fun. St. Louis has got a pretty cool music scene. There's a photographer out here named Nicole Solea, I believe is her name. She shoots weddings on the side too, you know, because you got to pay the bills. Now, obviously, this is not, we're going to blur this and we're going to blend this and we're going to do color work. And so we're just kind of we're going to get a quick proof of concept. I'm just kind of, maybe I'll make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. Hi. And again, I have no relation to this young lady. I should have done this over here as a clipping mask. That way I could have changed the image in it easily. Instead, I did the mask on the image, which means I'll have to do this again if I end up needing to resize it, which I already think I'm going to, because I want this to take more of the frame. So I've already put myself in a bad spot. Oh, you know what? Let's solve the problem. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave. I always leave the base layer alone. That way, if I screw something up, I have like a layer. Did we all try graduation photos? Oh yeah, I did graduation photos and school photos. Like next. I've also done like highly artistic senior photos. So it depends on which. Whichever one you mean. Yes. Actually, started off trying to do astro photo. Yeah, with the spinny photos and stuff. Yeah, I mean just supply and demand. You know, everybody needs portraits all the time. You know. I always tell how do I want to do this? Because I could like erase this part and then put like sneak like in between the layers, which might be the way, and then I could also do that on this side and just use this as that might be the way. That is the way. Yeah, I'm rusty. All right, so let's turn that layer off. So what we're doing here is I'm creating a layer just so I can see the mask working. These are off. Why is that not? Am I not on a brush layer? What's the deal? Oh, because I'm on divide. Yeah, so anyway, what I was saying before I ADD'd there was I always tell folks, I'm like, there's a time to be an artist and there's a time to shoot what you love, but you got to eat too, right? So like, you got to do what you got to do, and then hopefully you get to a point where, no, you're good, babe. This is a chill stream. My wife's saying hi. How's my audio? Have you tuned in to check me? What do you need, sweetie? Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I can't help you there, babe. Sorry. Sorry. I would love to help you. And again, I would like when I might as well just let's get a little harder brush here. Let's lower this flow. Taking too long. There's always something out there. Yeah, no, but like there's a time to be a craftsman and there's a time to be an artist. Is I guess the long and short of what I'm trying to say. You know, because we have to be practical, right? Like we can't. Like I hate the term starving artist. I think it's I think it's a wee bit silly. Like, we just have to accept that, we just, we have to eat. We have to make stuff. We have to make stuff that people are willing to buy, right? That's the thing. And that's the thing about art, which is why, like, I love looking at art, especially people whose art isn't famous, because a lot of times it's just as good as the stuff that you see that is famous and worth millions. It's just that for whatever reason, the stars didn't align and there wasn't demand created around that piece. So we just have to be realistic and kind of do a little bit of both. I will say weddings are a wonderful training because you have to be like portrait photographer, landscape photographer, photojournalism photographer, product photographer, psychologist, project manager, crisis management, and all the different things. I would hire an army of wedding photographers and we just, whatever the problem is, we'll solve it. So I also think that way about restaurant managers. Fully in cybersecurity at the end of the year, so that will hopefully allow me. Yeah, that'll pay the bills. And as long as you're passionate about both. I mean, I think that's the trick to life ultimately is, what's going on here? Why is that coming up that way? Oh, because I'm on Divide again. How does that keep happening? I don't want to be on Divide. So this is a little rough here. So we just got up the hardness. Now my 10-year-old goes, ha, 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 Dad. He's at that age. But like my daughter, she draws and she does art. And so I've always told her, draw in your style, draw what makes you, and try to get hired for, be an honest artist, and even in your commercial work and your client work, be who you are. I'm just going to leave this kind of rough here. I'll lower that down. It's a bit much. There are too many new gears. How can we keep up? Yeah. That's the other thing I tell folks is like, I once knew a photographer who became really upset with me. I'm not classically trained. I'm self-taught, right? ADD. Woo! Self-taught everything. That's kind of how we roll. Some people love it. Some people hate it. We're really useful in certain situations. But anyway, I'm a self-taught photographer, and I was getting tons of work, right? In my particular area at the particular time, there was a lot of college-educated, classically trained photographers that just weren't making money, weren't booking clients. And I had more work than I could do. And I'm not saying that to be like, ooh, I'm great. Not every business has a right to try to stay in business. They don't have a right to stay in business. And the hook for me was I was just nice to people, right? And I would say that their photography, full transparency, was better, right? But it wasn't about being better. That's what they couldn't understand. No, I can't ignore you. You're the apple of my eye. My wife come back in. So anyway, that's the thing. It's like, because like you have to remember, like making money from photography is a business. And so all of the stuff that comes with business, that's why you see some photographers who are less talented than others where they have a successful business, where this like amazing photographer who just, their work is breathtaking, but they're mean. And they can't, anyway, I don't know. A lot of entitlement in this industry for some reason. I don't know. But there are a lot of gears. The thing is, we don't need to keep up. We just have to carve out what makes us happy and learn how to make money. My 8th grade math teacher gave me the best advice in the world, and I'll never forget it. Mr. Funicelli. If I ever cross paths with you again. But Mr. Funicelli, he said, find something you love to do, then find a way to get paid for doing it. So whatever that is, you just got to be realistic on how to monetize it, right? I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's not like you guys are like asking a bunch of questions. I'm just rambling. I need to focus on getting this cut out. I'm rusty. I almost gave up photography, to be honest. I'm glad I didn't. What am I doing here? A little more hardness. Oh, you know what? I didn't want to do this, but here we are. I'm still not going to do the hair. You can't make me. To do this hair properly, I would probably obscure it with some other object because I just some hair. If you've ever done retouching or compositing, you just kind of give up sometimes. I know there's ways to do it. There's like frequency separation but I can't. I just, unless I have, of course, if it's client work, I like to cash checks. I can be bought. However, rotoscoping is a dirty word and should never be used. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's so funny. Chat can always relate. I'm in a ranked game. Hey, man, play, hang out. I'm just going to ramble about nonsense. We're going to talk about comics at some point. Oh, and I got to check my Raid Shadow Legends. If you're not doing 3... Oh, we lost. Brutal. Oh, well. I'm not that emotionally attached. So, there we go. That was quick and dirty, but it'll work. It'll work. No. So what we've done is we've kind of made... It's so bad. Whatever. I need to soften that up. Oh, my God. There's a way. Anyway. Let's do this. Let's deselect. Nope, let's not deselect. I think you just feather it with select. Is it modify? Yeah. Feather. Just cut. Is that gonna be enough? That might be enough to soften it up. When you come back from your ranked game, you'll have to tell me what game you're playing. And also, I do apologize. I used to stream a long time ago. I used to be a commentator for Heroes of the Storm, like their amateur league. You know, I only did it briefly, but I haven't really streamed since. So a lot of the like alerts and different things I don't have set up. So if anybody's followed or anything like that, I do appreciate it. I am going to be doing this more often, just kind of hanging out, kind of doing 3 things at once for a couple hours, and just kind of relaxing and just having my first cup of coffee and just kind of starting my day this way before I have to run around and do dad stuff. So I am going to just start pulling out random comics. If I see something interesting, I might make a comment. I run an antique mall booth, and I have a window that I've rented, it's behind glass. So I'm looking for some really some books, some comic books that will stop somebody like, ooh, what are those? And kind of, so I want like a real strong, like expensive book, and I've got some really expensive books in here, but I also want some books that'll kind of move quickly. So like some of the more obscure titles, like probably not appropriate for what I'm looking for. But I need to move that back. That's like right up in my business. Right up in my business. So, hey, Squiddy, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You're my first subscription in years. Maybe ever. I don't know if I wasn't that cool before. I'm not that cool now, but I appreciate you. It's nice to be hanging out. Like I started this mostly because I want to just I need a group to hang out with them. You know, it's tough being a dad these days. So I needed a clan, a group of like-minded folks. So I figured I'd just stream what I like to do, and then hopefully there's other people that like to do what I like to do, and then I can come watch what y'all do and come hang out with me when it's my turn, and we can just, looking for a community, I guess, is kind of the long and short of what I'm saying. So, and I hang out on Twitch a lot. I love Twitch. Whew, those selections. So I do kind of want, and we'll definitely have to do some color work. I almost want this over here and this over here. I wonder if that's better. Horizontal, yeah. And then yeah, I'm digging this. And kind of frame this right side. Let me kind of pull this up a little bit. And again, I'm going to have to come in and do work on. Ooh, I like the people at the bottom. And again, these are royalty-free photos from Pexels. I'm not sponsored or anything by those guys. I want to make sure artists get their credit where credit's due. And also, if it's a resource that you guys need, you know, if you guys like to do this kind of stuff. Yeah, I like this, but it needs more. Like, it needs more. And I can't even really tell that it's a rocket. So I don't know if this photo is going to work. I do like this one. I like where that's heading. Yeah, let's get rid of that one. Let's see what else. Did we have another one pulled out that we thought was kind of neat? Scenic view. Nope, not that one. Great photo, just not for what we're doing. All right, that's the same. Let's go back over here. Dun dun, fireworks. The Light Den Academy. I'll have to check that out. I'll have to check that. Let me make myself a note. You know what? I'll write it right here. Light Den Academy. Bam. Ooh, that's cool. That might work for what we're doing. This here. By Torben Bull. Free to use, as you can see. Yeah. I'm digging this. We'll call it I don't want to say these words out loud. I'm because just what's going on. You see this stuff in the news. FBI, if you're listening, I'm just a dork. Don't come after me. I'm just a dork. All right, let's check. All right, speaking of dork. Hey, we won. Yeah, not good enough. Not good enough. Again! So again, that's Raid Shadow Legends. If Raid Shadow Legends wants to give me money to grind, I'm happy to take your money and say nice things about your game while I play it in the background. Dun, 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 dun. Giving everybody else money. No, I'm kidding. They don't. I'm totally joking. All right, so let's get rid of that. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Look at that. Maybe a touch smaller. I didn't realize how much fun I would have doing this. My wife's been on my, in a positive way, this is positive, on my case about doing this. It's been a while since I've just made something to make something, you know? So I think we need to open up the blacks here because we just need a little bit more context. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a curves layer. Now what we are going to do is we're going to clip it to just, so what this will do is I'll be able to adjust this. Normally if you have a normal layer, this layer and everything below it gets affected. If you alt click or option click, it will do this little arrow thing. And you guys might already know this, but in case somebody doesn't, it will apply this layer effect to the layer it's pointing at essentially. And you can stack the layers up and all that. And I usually put them in a folder when I'm trying to be clean, or if somebody else has to look at my files, I'm that guy. Like I won't clean it if it's my files, but if I have to work with other people, I'll make sure it's nice for you. I try to hide my chaos, keep it contained in my own little bubble. It does spill out from time to time. All right, so when we lift up this middle curve here, you see how it's adjusting the midtones over here? Let's zoom in on that. Ooh, the old hand. Blah! That's such a cool... And we will clean this up. I am completely aware that this is terrible. Terrible. And again, if the audio is not balanced anywhere, if I need to bring up the background or lower the vocals, just... I take criticism well. I don't know if we can bring these blacks, though. We might just have to work with it. Because they're pretty crushed. Okay. Is that going to work if that's that dark? Dun, dun. Oh, well, let's do this instead. I think that's better. I don't like how this hard line of fire. Now, this is actually in the image here, but I don't like that hard line, so I'm going to try to hide that hard line. It's just the eye will go to those kinds of lines, and I don't know. Like, I want them to look over here. I just don't want them to stay here, if that makes sense. So we're gonna. All right. So we are gonna try to match this to that. I'm digging this set of oranges versus this set of oranges. This kind of has like a more muted embery kind of vibe to it, which I want more post-apocalyptic-y raging fire vibes. You know what I mean? Dude, oops, check Raid Shadow Legends. Let's pull out another comic book. So this one's cool. This is Ayanu. This is a spec book, so I'm probably going to hold on to that one. I've heard good things about that. I don't know too much about it. Oh, this is good. This is the third appearance of Dream. I'm going to show you this. This is the third appearance of Dream, is what this is. And it's the first appearance of Dream outside of the Sandman series. So as we know, Neil Gaiman's got that Netflix series now, and it's fantastic. And so I might hold on to this one. I wonder, because, I mean, I guess if it was going to go up, it would have gone up by now. I don't know. I think somebody will snap that up quick. That's a cool book. That's a cool book. All right, so over here, we're going to do a color adjustment. Let's do color balance. Oh, here we go. Here's another one that's... I should put one of these in the booth for sure. Moon Knight #1. This is not the first appearance of Moon Knight. This is the first appearance of Bushmaster, and I believe the origin of Moon Knight. This is when Khonshu gives him his powers and all that stuff. I believe the first appearance of Moon Knight, I think it was in A Werewolf by Night, I believe. Is that? I'm looking over here like there's somebody over here. I used to have a team that I would look at this way and be like, am I right? Am I wrong? Am I lying? Am I telling the truth? Somebody fact check me. But I believe that is correct. All right, so we're going to add oranges. So what makes orange, right? Red and yellow. So we're going to add... Let's start with the midtones. We're going to push the midtones redder, and you can see here what it's doing. And then we want to add that yellow to bring it to orange. A lot of yellow, apparently. That's fine. I don't know. Ooh. That did a lot more than I thought it would. So there's that. I mean, even just with that one adjustment, you see the difference. We still got a ways to go. I think we're going to need to spend some time in the shadows, as they say. Ooh, that's a lot of red. That might be too much. Maybe it's more yellow than it needs. Well, it needs red to mix with the yellow to make orange. So again, maybe it's in the highlights, and I just don't understand what I'm doing. Okay, anyway, let me make this bigger. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to balance the fire color. And we might even desat it a little bit to help kind of, oh no, we need yellow. That's what we need. You see how we're kind of like, we're pushing it too far. Because we got to remember these are JPEGs, not raw images. And they will just start to deconstruct after a while. So I think we need to leave this adjustment alone. Let's add that clipping mask. Let's add, let's leave this one alone for a second. How do we want to tackle this? Oh, we need to pull some of that sat out. So we're just going to a good old hue sat layer. When I say sat, I mean saturation, which is defined like as how much color is in something, I guess. I don't know. And now you see how we're taking the color, like it's still pretty destroyed. And I still want to push those reds yellower or oranger. Oranger? Is that a word? It is now. Shakespeare can make shit up, so can I. Like, what? Hey, there we go. The hue is what we want to jack with. There we go. So again, we don't have to have it. We just have to have it close because we're gonna blur it, and then we're gonna do a couple things actually. Now that I'm looking at this, so I think that's pretty close. I don't want to really jack with it much more than that. So let's call this. left window. Let's call this right window. Let's pull out another comic book. Oh, we got a bunch of Moon Knights. We need to sell these. Many moons ago, an old friend of mine, we traded. I like to trade a lot. I'm totally fine with that. Barter system's fantastic. I traded some work, and instead of trading or paying cash, he just gave me his father's old comics that he just wasn't doing anything with, and so I've been sitting on these for 4 or 5 years, and and then Moon Knight came out, and I was like, yay, that's fantastic. So here's Savage Dragon, the Obama cover. Again, this channel is not about politics, so we're not going to even talk about it. I personally have no issues with the man. This is a millennial nostalgia here, and I'll just let that be on the screen for a while. This is one of those I might hold on to because we kind of grew up with this. And that was the Ren and Stimpy show. So anyway, so what we're trying to do here is we are going to group this into a layer maybe, or a group like this. Select all those, Control G. We'll call it window. And now I believe, so yeah. Can I blur the whole thing, right? Did you? So one thing we could do is we could kind of cheat. I want to basically, can I apply a smart filter? Convert for smart filters. See, now if I do that, let's do this. We're going to cheat. I apologize for not speaking in complete sentences. All right, so we are actually going to, what is it on this? Control Shift Alt E. Wait, yeah. Control Shift Alt E. So what that does is that merges and gives us a layer with everything that's visible on it. So now we can turn off our, this is kind of a safety layer at this point. So it is kind of I'm kind of forcing it. There's probably a better way to do this, but I like to get jobs done and not, I probably should take the time and learn how to do this better, but today ain't that day. So anyway, we're going to add that blur to the layer to kind of approximate the blur from a camera. So we're going to add some lens blur. I usually only use lens blur or Gaussian, I believe is the way you pronounce that. Someone can correct me later. Let's make sure it's a mean tweet. Here's a radioactive man, #1. I don't know what I'm putting in this booth. Another Moon Knight. We are putting a Moon Knight. The question is, do we want to do it? Yeah, let's do a direct edition. One day I'll do a video on what the difference between a direct edition and a newsstand is. So let's just put that one in the booth. That's a good one. Is that new season coming out? I'm not sure. This is cool. This is Predator versus Nazis. Would you watch that show? I probably would. Let's add some specular highlights. All right, I'm just going to focus on the photo, and then we'll just blaze through these books, because I do want to give that my full attention. Dun, dun, ba, dun, 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 dun. Do you know what else we could do? We could probably listen to something else on YouTube. Now let's just push through. All right, so we need way more blur than that. Let's just use Gaussian for speed. Filter, blur, blur, Gaussian, and just, whoo, that's too much. Too much. There we go. We're getting in the area we need to be. See, now the cool thing is, one of the things that I just realized I could do because of the way I've done the layers. What is that? That discoloration, was that in the original photo? Oh, I guess it's smoke. I don't like that. We'll have to fix that. Or maybe move the up and down. Anyway. Maybe more? So, and then because it's no! Because it's an old Kodachrome, we should also add a hue sat layer clipped to this and just kind of take out some of that sat, right? Because it should match around the saturation of the gingham dress, which is probably about there. If I at some point I'll take some time and kind of look at just a handful of these Kodachromes and just kind of put in my head how the colors represent, like how would these oranges be represented by Kodachrome, and that would be the level. If it was client work, that would be the level that we would take it to. Now let's start getting that up. Gosh, I think it should be even blurred more. We'll see. So, and I understand that these edges are crisp. Let's deal with that. Soften this up. I wonder what the best way to do that. So basically I'm just wanting to add feathering, right? So let's go with a black brush. Let's do like 15% opacity. Let's just go 100% flow. I'm not messing around here. So what we'll do is we'll click here and then we'll shift click. Nope, that ain't gonna work at all. Oh, I see why that's not gonna work. There's a way we could cheat. So basically what's happening is that I wonder if it's less a masking issue and more of a like dodging and burning issue. You know what? Let's get nitpicky as the last thing, because I think once we do some color adjustments, because we need to kind of push this towards the orange and red palette, the fire palette essentially, and I think that's going to solve a lot of our problems. And then when we kind of have the foundation of what we're doing, then we'll go in, we'll add some lighting, we'll add some, we'll dodge highlights and burn shadows and add colors in certain places, and we'll figure that all out. But I think we need to get a little bit closer before we go down that level of specificity. I can never say that word. I can spell it. I can't say it. Specificity. There it is. Didn't do. All right. Yes. Push that color. I think we'll go back with the color balance. Actually, let's do two things. First, one of the things I do like to do is add like a global layer to. Did we do that last? I'm so indecisive this morning. I guess I need more coffee. Or maybe I'm nervous because there's might be people watching. Let's add the warming filters first. So photo filter. You see how that just kind of automatically just. So basically, I like it. So what we're gonna do is, it's basically as if I were, if you had your camera, you're shooting, and then you had like a piece of film. What do they call it in video? A gel. They call it a gel in video, and they put it over the front of a light to change the color of the light, because light has colors. So sometimes you want to have a light come off blue or red or whatever. So this would be the equivalent of putting like a red or a gel filter in front of your lens as you shot it. Da-ring. Oh, so what we're doing here also is we are going to attempt to match, to kind of tie things together. I like to pull colors from the thing. And, ooh, why did that come out white? I don't want white. Oh, you know what? Because I might not have that layer selected. Let's just guess. It'll be close. I want a little more red in that, so we'll just pull this hue down. Ooh, not that color red. Calm down. Maybe we just take that down when we get there. Just eyeball it. So you see how it's already kind of tying together, but we have a lot of different things going on that we can address. Like these needs to be oranger. Is that a word? I don't care if it's not. This obviously is just this needs to be all burned down, because what would happen if it was light, if it was intense heat and light coming from the outside, all of this stuff would be like tinged a color, right? So we need to be a little bit more realistic with what's going on, and I really do think this needs to be blurred more. Let's add a little more blur. Let's actually take it really far and then dial it back, because what we've done is we have this layer underneath it that where we can actually jack with the opacity to kind of, ooh, I like that extra vibrancy. It's still too sharp relative to her face. And I think once we soften all this stuff up, I think we'll be a little in better shape. So like down here would be orangey highlights. There would be, it would kind of wrap around a little bit. So we'll add some orange there. She would have orange throughout her hair on the sides here, and maybe even the top. The whole top of the cab would have kind of a darker orangey glow, right? So we're gonna add all that. So let's just get to it. First, let's dodge and burn. So the fastest way to do that, and if you don't know what dodging and burning is, it's an old film photography term, I believe. Is it Control-Alt-Shift? Control-Alt. Is it Control-Shift-N? I'm looking for new. There it is. New layer. Like I said, it's been a while. So we're going to actually go to soft light on this and then fill it with the neutral gray. We'll call this, we will try to keep our layers somewhat not nuts. I need to sit up straight. I don't know why I feel like I have to lean. All right, so we're going to go heavy with this. Really soft brush. We're going to go really hardcore opacity, and then we're going to dial it down. So, do you see what I'm saying? And I might come in and like cut parts of this top here that doesn't really fit, because like that's still too bright. So this is at 100%. I'm digging what that looks like. Let's do this. Oop, nope. And then what we'll do is we'll gradiate from this. Even though that wouldn't be how it looked, wouldn't it gradiate the other way? It would, wouldn't it? So this actually, we need to go darker as we go. Right? That's right, right? Right. Oh, wait. Okay. Yeah. And then, see, that's already there. That shadow is there for real. Looking great. Thanks, man. What are you playing? By the way, I meant to ask. So let's add, while we're here, and we're going to come in heavy with this too. And again, we're just doing this fast, and I don't have a tablet, so you're going to have to, we're kind of painting on, I almost think this orange should be, oop, nope. I'm also trying to cheat so I don't have to do the hair, right? Let's see what that looks like. I might end up going lighter around her hair, maybe. I'm not sure. Like as it gets more up there. PUBG? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good old Battle Royale. let's try this. And then what we'll do is we'll come over here and change the blending layer, not to screen. Color, maybe? Let's try color. And then what we'll do is we'll blur it. More blur. Gaussian. This might end up looking terrible. This music's kind of bumming me out. I feel like I should want to play something a little more jammy. There we go. That isn't going to do it, is it, folks? Maybe it's the blending mode. Well, if you think about it, it would be fire, so it would be a backlight, right? So the backlight are a little glowy. I think I need to just get in here with an eraser tool and just be a little less heavy-handed with it. Like, this is too much. It shouldn't be. It should be on the hair, right? And I might need to even come through this with like a cloning tool. Yeah, I think that highlights too much. And this is just all rough. Do this. PUBG. All right, I have got to play some different music. First, I have to remember where the music is coming from. There might be an ad here, and I apologize for that. We'll mute the ad. I'm watching it, so you don't have to. Oh, yeah. I am playing from YouTube. This one's called 1 Hour Uncle Iroh Inspiration. And I'm a huge Uncle Iroh fan, so I'm open for suggestions, though. Let me get back set up the way I was. Hopefully that's still balanced. And if I need to bring that background up, just let me know. Happy to do so. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we just, yeah, I see. Yeah, let's go back. Let's get that there. Let's go with like 20%. Be a little less heavy-handed with it. And this, I think we should just take out her hair. Let's see if that's even an option. Not at 20%. So what we're doing, we're just kind of making her hair less of an issue and just bringing in more of that photo. Now the problem is we're losing the context of what it is, right? How do we fix that? Because like this no longer, like to me this looked like windows or an awning. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I haven't done a whole lot of social media with my personal work prior to this, but yeah, I get frustrated sometimes with how stuff's displayed. And so now I'm trying to think of like, okay, I have to think how it's displayed first. Maybe if I just
understanding others, the other elements,
man,
and the other nations.
That's
will
bumming
help
me
you
out.
become whole.
Well, I guess it was like that in the original photo. All right, let's keep going with it. Let's see if it turns out better than I think it will. Dun, dun. Iro, he does make me happy. Maybe I'll put something over here. I wish that looked more like a window. Ever heard anything from Postmodern Jukebox? No. No, I'll have to check that out. Let's actually bring a little of the highlight to her face. Dun, dun, dun.
It is important to draw wisdom from many different places. If we take it from only one place, it becomes rigid and stale.
Preach it, Iro. Hopefully you guys can hear all the wisdom Iro's dropping. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Yes, let's add some contrast to this face. Instagram is another TikTok. They aren't a photo site anymore. I guess everyone's left Facebook and Instagram, it feels like. You know, I know there was a lot of issues with all that, but yeah, whatever. Hey, I always tell people whatever the camera you have in your hand is the right camera. So what we're doing is we're adding some contrast to this thing. I think it's going to help me like it more. And maybe we'll add like a ember. Oh, yeah. So I still will have to deal with this over here, like this edge. Let's see if we can't deal with that right now. True humility is the only antidote to shame, Iro just told us. He's not wrong. Let's check this right quick. Dun, 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 dun. A little bit harder of a brush. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, shooting for bands has to be super fun. Most bands are like super cool people too. I love artists. I love musicians. I love it all. Just different folks, you know? Kind of faking it here a bit. I hate how like her hair. Like if this is something I would have to fix. What's that layer? I don't dig that either. Yeah, let's get rid of all that. What is that? The D700. Hell, man, if you're doing like, so like there's, I don't know if you're that site Animoto where it really makes like slideshows and stuff really easy to make. But, and I used to use it all the time when because clients really get a kick out of it. You know, you can just show them their whole gallery in video form and then they see the gallery, you know, they get kind of emotional. It's kind of a neat moment, but
I can take care of myself by myself.
It's tough talking.
My nephew, always thinking you need to do things on your own.
Oh my God, I'm so happy I found this channel.
There is nothing wrong with letting people who love you help you.
That is
Not
correct.
that I love you. I just
All right. So that's actually looking pretty good. There would be some work I would want to do on the hair and all that, but we're going to see if we can't get away with that. We're going to try to see if we can't find some embers. But what I was saying is you can even maybe do some stuff on your phone. I mean, phones are good enough now, and usually the stages are well lit enough. I don't think you have to. And let me turn this down a scotch. And I will say that switching from Because when I did weddings, I tried to do video and photos at the same time on the same body. It was harder than I thought it would be. So then I eventually just dedicated just a whole nother body to it. Or a phone. Like, it doesn't need to be great, right? Legendary cam. I'm not familiar with that. I'll have to look that up. So we're looking for embers right now is what we're looking for. Oh, that's fun. Look at that. Darn. Ooh, that's super loud. Is that loud for you guys? It's like whoever edited this just kind of turned it up a scotch. Anyway. Embers we're looking for. This actually is really cool, and it's nice and kind of faded already. And again, we're using Pixabay. All right, homeboy, you're too loud.
Chasing that A and
No! Sorry, team.
makes editing one click simpler. We can help make complex rewrites.
My cameras are close to when the D700 came out.
Like really.
D700 came out at the same time like the I was a Canon guy. That was during the that was the Canon, the Mark IIs, right? The Mark II. That was before the Mark III.
Send off that paper with
I did like that. The Canon Mark II is sweet, but the D700 was just as sweet, if I remember.
click simpler.
5D Mark II. Yeah, Mark II's pretty.
At Planet Fitness, there's hope.
Just something the way that like the process the files is just it just seemed really organic. I don't know. I really dug it.
Look at my
All right,
fingers
so
now.
we are pulling this up. Open. Embers. Oh, that's itty bitty. Did I download that wrong? Maybe I downloaded that wrong. Let's look real quick. I would prefer a bigger one. Image new tab. There we go. It's a huge one. Embers big. Yeah, 4,000's pushing it. Hopefully I'm saying that. Squiddy says 4,000. So I generally, on the Mark II, which I think was the equivalent camera, I didn't like 3,200 was it. Like anything after that, like, and that was only in receptions when I knew the photographs were going to be used tiny. The Mark III, which is what I'm currently using, I really don't like to go past 3,200 if I can help it. But it'll do 64. And again, I wouldn't necessarily like blow that image up. But a lot of that, again, the wedding reception images, they're only ever going to be printed or in a small album, right? Or in a online, posted like on an Instagram or a Facebook or whatever kids are doing these days. And so you could get away with a lot more, right? Because they're not pixel peeping the stuff. And that kind of set me free a little bit, because knowing how people are going to consume the product, it kind of sets you free of some of the more stringent rules, as it were. Because sometimes you just, you got to do what you got to do to get the shot. I'd rather have a great shot that isn't like perfect. Still usable, but in focus at least. Hell, even focus is not always the end all, because when you're printing it small, God bless it. I guess it's just going to be small. Or did I pull in the wrong file? I did. Ember's big. So, and believe me, there is a time and a place for pixel peeping. There really, really is. I'm just not that guy. I like this tune. It's got a nice vibe to it. I would say, what are the times I would say pixel peeping is appropriate? When you're doing like a large installation that people are going to like walk right by, That when when you got something isn't quite right, it's gonna be like 8 inches in their face. Then yeah, maybe spend extra time on that one. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to bring something that is going to kind of ultimately tie in the colors and tie in the just the overall feel of the thing. I don't know if this image is it. This might be a bit much. Yeah, I don't think this photo is it. I'm looking for something more campfire embery, like, because I kind of want to keep the relaxed. It's kind of a "this is fine" meme from the 1940s. I think that's what I'm making. Yeah, Squiddy, that's right. Like, and the only people who are going to complain about noise are other photographers, right? And if they're not the ones writing the check, I mean, yes, we want to be recognized by our peers as talented and professional, because word does get around. We always want to manage our reputations. I'm not saying that, but I mean, if the work is good and there's spirit and life in your photo and it's a great moment, I guarantee you that, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the stream about, like, sometimes more classically trained photographers, they're just, I think they've missed the script. It's about the spirit and the life and the moment, like the end of Blade Runner. It's a wonderful speech, and I wish I had it memorized. Blade Runner is Harrison Ford. They're running on the roof. The guy saves his life, and he talks about all these wonderful moments being lost to time because he was about to die. Where was his photographer? Why did those moments have to die in time? That's my question. And obviously, it's sci-fi, and it was written that way to invoke an emotion. But that's our job, is to catch these moments and to save them so they don't just go poof into the ether. And so, like, this little girl, this was shot in 1940 something. Did she ever think that she would possibly be "this is fine" meme? No, but today she is. So that's what this channel is about. And some of my other social medias, I like to save these kind of moments. I don't always composite them like I do. I have like old military photos, old doctor photos. I've got all sorts of stuff. And that's what this channel is about. I just wanted to nerd out and just kind of, like, the world sucks right now. So I wanted to have a channel that, didn't ignore the suck, as it were. Like, we'll talk about that. But I also wanted to kind of show the depth and breadth of, like, because I even need to remember sometimes that humans have done some cool things. We've done some really terrible things, but we've done some cool things too. And it's important that we check out both. So I just kind of ADD in history and just kind of do whatever. What am I looking for? Embers still, right? I don't know. That might be it, but that's an iStock, and I'm not paying $20 for a photo right now. This is, sorry that was super loud, but that, like, not necessarily all this, but this corner might be good. Like, this is kind of more the vibe, but even then, that's, like, I need a heavier concentration of this. Like, that's cool, but without all that stuff in the back. That's rad. Look at this dude. By photographer Chris. That is so cool. So what, I don't know what's in these balls, but you can achieve a similar effect with steel wool. Not something I would try. You see he's masked and got eye protection, but even then, he's probably a professional. At least you would hope. I would not. I don't know if my insurance would cover that shoot. Let's just not even name it. There's that one photographer. I think his name is Alexander von Wong. I look to him a lot for inspiration on a lot of his work, because, like, he did a whole fire set. You know what? I'll even pull that up so you guys can see it. That's how much I like it. Benjamin. Honestly, and I haven't checked in on him a long time. He does a lot of environmental photography and stuff. This is how ADD works. This is why it takes me forever to do anything. This is also why I know a bunch of random shit. Oh, I didn't know he was from Canada. Look at that. We're just going to pull up his... Oh, he calls himself the viral epic photographer. I do not disagree with him. I think if anybody has earned himself the right to call this is this guy. So what he does is he does these crazy shoots to bring awareness of issues. Obviously, this is a composite, but they actually will get all this trash together. He has a lot of behind the scenes videos. This one here is about computer waste. Look at that, dude. Like, they built that set. That's so good. So good. Oh, wrong way. I am an artist focused on amplifying positive impact. My mission. Sweetie says, at the end of the day, I go to Twitch for photography streams for the community and see how others. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. I can't wait. I'm going to meet everybody. I used to be on a long time ago, but I never really got heavy in the scene. I was one of those guys that like did like 10 streams and like jetted. I just didn't have the consistency I needed to stick around. Plus, you know, real life and stuff. God, look at this work. This is him. I love the behind the scenes. It's so good. And I mean, this work is sad at the same time, but so I remember watching this behind the scenes. They actually anchored that. You can see it here. They anchored this gal to the floor, and like I think the scuba dude would come over and like let them breathe out of the thing. This was all real. You see, they did everything safe. This is a cool series. Look at that. It's a cast photo. Where do all the socks go? Look at that. I guess he's talking about microfibers. I didn't. Makes you wonder. You know, and you see this kind of stuff, and then like you go back to like all the 1920s and all this stuff that happened to all those poor workers and all that stuff, and like we're still doing it. This one's. What do the kids say? This one slaps. Jeez. I would read. I'm a comic book guy. I actually own this print. I bought this. He actually went and out onto this lava, had a guide, the whole deal. So cool. Just so cool. Maybe that's something we'll do on the stream too. We'll just kind of highlight. This is him here. That's him there. We'll highlight different photographers. Maybe we'll do interviews. This is the fire I was talking about. Isn't that rad? I guess it was for an ad. But he hired, like, this guy is like a pro fire dude. Jeez. Jeez. Yes. That is very Assassin's Creed vibes, doesn't it? That's cool. That's dangerous as shit, but that's cool. I wonder if they had the... this is a steel wool. I've done steel wool in the past. I'll show you one of mine. Oh, wait. What is my website? I'll show you how often I've updated it. You're going to laugh when I pull it up. I haven't updated it since last fall. And I'm not even doing a lot of these. It's down. Anyway. It's funny. Portfolio, maybe? Is that where I put it? Oh, where is it? Oh, there it is. I did this one. This was done all in camera. I had a couple of, you can't really see it because of the slow photography, but there's obviously two guys spinning in the middle. I had a guy to the right. I was sitting on the ground, laying on the ground, taking the shot, kind of being like a drill sergeant. All right, go. It was super fun. Long time ago. But I got the inspiration from this guy and kind of what he was doing with this dude. Fire painting. Now, the real trick is to do it at a wedding, which I've done. For a while there, people hired me when they wanted like smoke and fire, and I like to do all the weird stuff. It's a cool series too. This is neat. He did this for a band. So cool. To be fair though, Twitch has hope it gets bigger. Those people doing ASMRs, yeah. To be fair, though, most of the photogs who do stream their edits and share their communities are some of the most genuine streams. Yeah, that's, I mean, yeah, because if there's not a big, you're not doing it for money. You know what I mean? You're doing it because you love it and you want to hang out with some folks. And that's what I'm here to do. And we are going to do more than photography. We're going to do books. I'm actually a bookseller now. We're going to talk about bands, books. We're going to do all that. We're going to talk about art. We're going to talk about just all cool stuff, trying to bring back a little culture in a very non-pretentious way. Cause I will drop a lot of, cause I'm very well aware of my place in the world. Is this going to do it for me? No, this ain't it either. I need something. All right, I have to focus on this because I have to finish this. Dun, 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 dun. This is what I want right here. That is exactly what I want. But I don't want to pay for it, and I will not steal it. Could that work? No. Again, perfect. This is perfect. These are all perfect. That little bit could work, like up there. If the file's big enough. That's too dense. Let's try this. Yeah, let's try this. That's so weird, right? Da, da, da. Just want something to tie it all together. Neon Night photography. It's probably inspired by Steel Wool. The Steel Wool stuff, like about, I want to say like 5 years ago, was like super, like everyone was doing it. Not everyone, because it was hard to do and it's not safe. I think there was one, I'll have to Google it, but there was one set of photographers down at, gosh, I don't know where, but they were at a very, like a scenic place with like a boat that was by a dried up lake, and it was like a popular attraction in the town, and they went and did steel wool over the boat. Amazing photograph, burnt the boat. Once those stories started coming out and people being irresponsible and stuff, like I think it kind of put an end to the fad. But it's still cool when you do it right. I did sparklers a lot at weddings. They were a lot easier to control. Ooh, that might start getting pixelated. I mean, it was always going to get pixelated, wasn't it? All right. Oh, I like this tune. So what we might end up doing is we might end up duplicating this layer once we just kind of get the you know, the barbecue tongs and stuff out of it. We're going to game on this channel too. I just got to figure out what game I'm going to play these days. Overlay where? Is that better? That might be better. All right. So we are going to build what I want. I'm inspired by that old army recruiting commercial that says, if you need it, build it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to alt click and kind of clean up the rest of this here. And then we're going to, I know there's an easier way to do this. Like we can load this like section of the JPEG into like a pattern thing. And, but I'm not going to do that. So we're going to go back to this layer. Doctor Strange probably is good at steel. Yeah. That's pretty clever. Yes. Yes, he would. That's great. All right. So basically we're just gonna, am I doing this right? Overlay. Darken. No, we don't want to darken. We want normal. And actually we want 100%. So we're just going to build more of this and we're just going to clone stamp it. Why is it not showing up? What am I doing wrong? Because I've masked the layer like a dork. All right, so what I need to do is I need to apply this layer mask. And then we should be good to go. And we are. So normally there's a way to go in here and like you can move this thing, which I just learned the other day. And that way, like, you can, because the problem with clone stamping is that it gets real samey real fast. And then that way you can come in here and just kind of, and that way you can try to avoid having overly detectable patterns. I mean, you're going to have some. There's really no way to get around it. I mean, there is. You can just take your time and do it right. But we're not going to do that. We're doing it quick and dirty. Maybe less feathering, a little more hardness. Doctor Strange, that's great. But I tell you what, there's not really a place for photographers to kind of just go and hang out, I've noticed. Like, I guess that's not our vibe. Wonder why that is. I also try not to think of myself just like as an artist per se, or excuse me, like as a photographer. I try to just kind of refer to myself, you know, like as an artist, right? And I know for everybody it's going to be different, but oh, look at that. I didn't know you could do it that way too. Oh, look at that. Fancy. You learn shit every day. Holy smokes. Kind of wrapping my head around the ramifications of what that would mean. I am kind of I'm kind of creating baby Dormammu. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's funny. All right, that should do it, maybe. Oh, that's overlay and that's set like that. Wow. Did I fuck something up? Oh, it's the only layer. I'm like, what's going on? Let's turn everything back on. Needs a layer to interact with. Dun, dun. Let's make this palette a little bigger so you guys can see what's going on. There she is. Oof. I have to take that down, obviously. That's a bit much. Oof. Okay. And then we need to get it off her face, obviously. Let's do that first. Ding. What was that noise? Let's smooth this out. All right. Off. Ooh, no, we don't want the color off. How do we do that? I think we have to treat it like they're pimples. Nope, that's not what. Okay, I don't want that to continue. How do we default it? Okay, just click brush. All right. All right, well, what do you got for us, bud?
A moment of quiet is good for your mental well-being.
Just make sure we got the right layer. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to come through and we are going to treat this. Can we do it that, maybe? Yeah. So I don't want the embers on her face necessarily, but I do want the color from this overall layer to come through. So it's not just, I can't just delete the layer. So we actually have to kind of work around the limitation, if that makes sense. Such a happy little girl. Great smile. But she's burning it down like that fine meme. Or that, like I said earlier, the meme where the little girl, she looks around as the house is burning and has this like maniacal stare. I don't know what, if my kids will know the name of it. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, that's kind of more the vibe. But again, that's too much. We're gonna take the set way down. I can't say it's the best work I've ever done. I certainly can't say it's the worst. It's probably this. So I'm looking on the screen. This part here is kind of bugging me a little bit. So what we're gonna do? Normally I'd come in and I would go to the layer in question and fix it that way, but I don't want to. So we're going to just do it fast. Maybe. I'm assuming this works. So we got the clone tool. Ooh, that's not what we want. That's what we want. Okay, so we're just gonna clone this away. This just huge white layer. Actually, let's not do it this way. Let's do it on a separate layer, just in case we screw it up. So again, I'm thinking of this like as an artist, right? Like, where does the eye go when people look at it? And they're gonna go to that bright highlight there. So, and again, we don't need it to be perfect, because no one's looking for it, right? Their brain's going to go, oh, that's supposed to be there. One thing I've learned about compositing and making these things is like how much the brain rationalizes, like without reason sometimes, you know? And just, oh, it's supposed to be that way. Now, a pixel peeper, we'll get it. Let's see. And now, so to kind of blend that a bit better, let's go to like a 50% opacity. Let's sample this like darker color here. And then just kind of over the edge, just like you were drawing. See how it kind of, and then we can even go 25% and then even blend it a bit better. I should have made that a little smaller, but I didn't. So what we're doing is, you know, it's a gradation, right? It's a gradient. So I'm digging this vibe. Nope, that's not what we want. Here, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Yes, I promise. I said I wouldn't be this detailed, but here we are. But here we are. Wrong button again. I used to work on a Mac all the time, so I'm kind of having to get muscle memory again. There we go. Okay. Nope, not the color I want either. Let's get that darker color. Let's go with like a 50%. Yeah, boom. There we go. Just like applying makeup. Just leave that there. So you see the difference there? I mean, like already that's a stronger image. I need to darken this a bit. And I wonder what happens when we take that layer up there. Okay, nothing. Which means we can probably darken this a bit and get away with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. My wife's like, what is he doing in there? Shut up. I like that. So we'll actually add probably this brown up in here and kind of do something with that. And I want to erase this a little bit off of her face. Squiddy says it's called 772 photos at 108. Much not. You lost some weight, brother. You lost some weight. I get it.
I poured your tea because I wanted to, and for no other reason.
See, I wish more of that texture came in. But there was no texture because it was a blown highlight, right? Maybe another... This is what I do. I get locked in the details. Let's go here. Just kind of burn it down a little. Nope, 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 nope. 10%. This is where I want the texture on top. Interesting. All right. So I think I'm going to get a little bit off this her face. This is kind of throwing me a little bit too. I want to be able to see that eyeball. Kind of. probably be taken down just a scotch. I do not like where that ended up. It needs something. You know what? I don't think I... You know what? Let's try the different bloody mounts. It's probably a little bit more realistic, and I think that opacity should come down. So just a reminder, this is where we started. This is where we are. I almost think it needs some sort of like texture over the top of it. Also, let's burn this down a little bit. I'm just sampling. Okay, that'll help. Kind of painting it in here a bit. I think this might be where I'm going to leave it. I think if I were to really go crazy with it, I would want to make this look more like a car. Would love to see your reaction seeing, hearing Bad Romance by Postmodern Jukebox. Is it good? Let me pull it up. Dun, 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 dun. Bad Romance, Postmodern Jukebox. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so I'm... Okay, so I play a lot of Beat Saber, and this is a Beat Saber song, so you have my attention. I know my wife is gonna like this. We've become a PMG stream now. Oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen. So right after this stream, before I start the rest of my day, I gotta go play this as a Beat Saber song. All right, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm not gonna listen to the whole thing, but I'm sold. I am super sold. That was fantastic. Subscribe. They've got to subscribe from me. The tap dance is killing. It's so good. texture. That was pretty good. I'm into that whole vibe, 1920s. I've got Great Gatsby on my bookshelf back here. That whole flapper generation vibe. I love it. I dig it. It was really good. All right, I think I'm going to try to slap a texture on this bad boy and call it a day. I do need to kind of, what time is it? 11:51. This is about the time I wanted to finish. So we're probably not going to do the comic books today on stream. We'll probably just kind of alternate what we do each day. But I'm going to try to get on here at least once a day for an hour or two. Probably 2 to 3 hours, really. Texture, that's what I'm doing. So I hope to see you guys again. Just hanging out. We'll go vintage. You know what? There used to be a website back in the day called Lost and Taken. Yay! He still does free textures. Just do film. Close. So this is lostandtaken.com. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. Oh, these are old daguerreotypes. Not really what I'm looking for. That might work. So basically, I'm kind of wanting to show it like the film burnt, right? I think that's my jam. Yeah, Ghost Reg, that was a wonderful suggestion. I appreciate it. Why can't I don't want the ad. I just want, at this point, I'll take any one. Just give me one. There we go. That works. Let's try this one. Photoshop.
Pretty good advice and great tea.
I gotta remember to set it straight, or else I'm gonna
Whether you make it or not.
get a hurt back. Darn. God, I sound so old. And let's.
Understanding others, the other elements, and the other nations will help you become
All right.
whole.
So I wonder if we go. Yeah, you see this vibe? I'm digging this. Linear burn. Ooh, that's good too. Overlay. And again, we can always jack with the opacity. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, that's nice too. It's not the vibe I'm looking for. Dun, dun. Ooh, I like that vibe. Kind of makes it look like Kodachrome. Kind of mutes the highlights a little bit. Maybe I can dodge and burn her face a little bit. So saturation. What was the other one that I thought was good?
It is important
No,
to
it wasn't
know
overlay. It was linear burn, wasn't it?
places.
Yeah.
If you take
I
it
don't know
from
if this is
only
going to be it
one
either.
place, it becomes rigid
It's too
and
much.
stale.
That could work. 'Cause that looks like it's damaged. I don't know. Because it does look like it's been scraped off. I wonder. And I would get it off of her face. Maybe overlay? I don't like what it's doing to her lip, but we can sometimes just flipping it around might give you a whole. I do like how it's like the texture in the top.
Prince Zuko,
Let's see.
Pride is not the opposite of shame, but its source. True humility is the
Like I said, we're going to get it off her face a bit. Maybe get it out of the window. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think we may overcook this one. Oh well. Like I said, not all of them will be winners. I think I lacked a plan. I mean, it's not terrible. It's just not. It just kind of gets lost. Maybe let's take some stuff out of the equation. What time is it? Noon. I got a couple minutes. I appreciate it, Ghost Drag. Yeah, like I think it would be do like movie credits on either side and just have something snappy. It's like today's children aren't like children from the past. Sort with a lighter. Or some sort of Gen Z burn it all down kind of, oh my god, that's what it is. Oh, I cracked myself up. So we just need some like typography that is like apocalyptic-y. I wonder if I have anything loaded up. And just write like Gen Z's had it or some shit on there.
People see me and think I'm weak. They want to take
There you go. The world may be burning, but my manager wants me to keep smiling. It definitely has some anti-work vibes, doesn't it? Oh, that's too funny.
anyone's support. There is nothing wrong with letting people who love you
Wholehearted? I'm sure I have something apocalyptic-y. Maybe I don't. Bungie, maybe? Just something real has had it. I'm going to keep the text editable. I just want to get the... I could work with that. I could work with this. It's nice and chunky. It's easy to read. Let's pull up the old character map. Make these a little closer together. Or character panel, I think is what it's called. Oh, where am I? There it is. Ghost Strike, that's awesome. That's kind of the vibe I was going for. I saw that movie. This is I remember before. This is where it got loud. Dun. Change that music real fast. Just pick. There you go. No, we're not doing this anymore. Back to this. There we go. Mm-hmm. Okay, where to put it? Let's change it up a bit. Let's left align it. Let's go white for now, so we can see it. We can just do something in the corner like that and call it a day. Some asymmetrical goodness. Okay. I guess this would be Generation Alpha, though, wouldn't it, with this little girl right now? Is that what we're calling the young ones? All right. I might have to go get my kids and get her input. Dun dun. There, that's what I want to see right there. Maybe. I want to do I don't know if anybody will care, but I think it's fun. Let's add some. Let's at least a drop shadow to it, make it a little easier to read. My wife's getting a kick out of this. And honestly, if nobody else gets a kick out of it other than her, it's a win. I like her. So I guess I do want it up here. Yeah. What do we think about the caption? The world may be burning, but we could start that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna duplicate. We're just gonna duplicate that layer. Turn this one off. What did you say? You said the world may be burning, but my manager wants me. Let's do to keep smiling. All right, center align it. I'm cracking myself up. You're cracking me up.
And for no other reason.
What a great moment for the music to change like that. Like, if I was editing a video, I could not have played that beat drop more perfectly. So on that note, I think we're going to go with this version because that's funny. I might do both versions because I have boomer friends and I don't want to start fights. Maybe I do want to start fights. That's kind of the point. No, yours is better. Yours is better. So who said the line? The world may be burning. So we're gonna give you credit, brother. Where's this? Let's do this. All right, what are we gonna say? So let me make sure I spell your name right. This was you, right? You came up with this? I'm going back through the comment. Yeah, it was you. Okay, cool. Squiddy. And then what I'll do is I'll go get like the Twitch logo and I'll put your logo here and then I'll put my company logo. Where is it at here? There it is. We made a meme together, friends. So what I'll do is I'll get like the Twitch logo, like I said, and I'll throw this on there. Come in. Come, hey Gabriel, you want to see this meme? My son just walked in.
The youngest one.
My youngest. So look at this. Oh, where you at? No, come over and look. It's good. It's my son.
You're not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, he says. You want to see where we started, son? Check this out. This is the source image. That's where we started. That's where we ended up.
Nice. Welcome back to Sweet
So anyway, I will work out the bottom of that. I will post this somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to post it. Feel free to clip it or whatever it is you got to do. I know it'll be on my Facebook. I'll probably put it on my Instagram, and that's probably where it'll live. You feel free to download it, do whatever you want with it. It don't make a difference to me. But this was fun. I do have to move on with the rest of my day. I hope to do this every day, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow whenever I see you. Just hanging out, having a good time, making weird shit for no other reason other than just to make it. Because if the world's burning, that's all we got left. So until next time.